I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars. baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't wanna do. Baby, while we're young,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to AMD Presents the Esports Club Showdown Valorant powered by Red Bull. My name is Floki. Joining me for this one is going to be a FET blast from the past, a man that we haven't seen for a long while, but now you're back. And yeah, it's good to see you casting some Valorant, man. How's it been?
And great to be back casting some Valorant. I have a special affinity for first person shooters, and Valorant is all the rage. And I'm glad to be back. This is a
Well,
FET.
it's I gotta say it's nice to have you back, but you've had the opportunity to catch some of these games. You know, you've seen how a lot of these teams play, and today's matchup is going to be very interesting. Of course, it's Bleed Esports going up against Velocity. It's going to be people in the home turf versus going up against the people from Singapore. A very interesting clash of the two countries, but. Just before we go into this one blind, what do you think the problems for both of these teams are going to be? Because both of these teams are very good at their craft. Of course, it just comes down to a few nitty gritties here and there that they might want to iron up in this game.
I mean, see, like what VLT, when they were playing yesterday, they were very organized. Yes, they let a few rounds through here and there, but like the way they approach every round, their systematic approach to bomb sites, getting map controls and everything, It was very impressive. Um, but yeah, they're gonna have their work cut out against Bleed. They are a top team from Singapore, and historically, we have had trouble facing down the boys from Singapore. So
Yeah.
let's see. I mean, I'm guessing both VLT and Global and all the top dogs from the Indian circuit have had their eyes on that Singapore region and toppling them from the top spot in SEA. So I'm guessing, and VLT's agenda has been that to be a top contender in not just South Asia but the entirety of the Southeast Asia region. So let's see how far along that has come. And anyway, taking a look over to the brackets, we can see that like this is a do or die moment for Velocity Gaming. They lose this, they're out of the tournament. They win, they progress. Same with Global Esports. I mean, everyone who's playing today, Bleed Esports, Louvre, they'll all have to be on their A game. Like this is their last chance. There is no safety net beyond this. This is the lower bracket. So I'm guessing we're in for a cracking game of Valorant.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I feel both of these teams have a lot they bring to the table. Yesterday there were a lot of jokes, and I do remember the good old saying of "Keep push, it never really works out." But the Singaporean teams are on point with that, so we'll see how it ends up turning out today. But I believe we've also got a very interesting map beta coming up. Of course, before we jump into that, we're going to be having a look at some of these teams over here. But Bleed Esports have been looking really, really good. I do like the way they play the game. I think they're quite fluid with their approach. I can't really look at Bleed and say that they're bad at any map, right? Just because their fundamentals are so strong. They can pretty much make it work on any map. That said, though, I do think that there are some maps that they're a lot better on compared to others. And this is a point of contention for me because I feel but speaking about the map beta, let's actually jump into it and see what maps are going to be up and running, because I actually think that the first map, Breeze, is a weird one for me because I've seen the side of Bleed play Breeze really, really well, and it also happens to be Velocity's best map. So right off the bat, we're going to have a very strong opening from both of these teams, but I just don't know which side I lean on because I feel both of these teams have a very good chance of taking it away.
Like that's the thing. Yesterday we saw a lot of the map picks go the way of the team that picked them, and they were fairly one-sided. Apart from that icebox, where Velocity won it quite convincingly towards the end. But here's the thing, right? When going for map picks, the philosophy is always pick your best map and don't really care much about what the opponent is good on if you're not that sure about their map pool. So I sense that was the thinking that went into the Breeze pick from Velocity Gaming. Like, we're the most comfortable on this map. This is our best map. Let's just go with this because we feel the most comfortable. Then moving on to Bleed's pick, Haven. Now, Haven is such a chaotic map, and it stretches the defense so thin. So I'm a bit worried about Velocity because yesterday on their defensive side there was a little bit of miscoms here and there. There were some misplays, but they managed to string together a good defense on Icebox. They got 5 rounds, and then after that, there was just no looking back. Once they switched to the attacker side, they just steamrolled their opposition. But yeah, and then again, Split. That's always going to be the decider for a lot of these maps. Like, it's one of the OG maps of Valorant. It is.
Oh, yeah.
It is cramped. It is vertical. It is angles supreme, and it's all about that mid control. So very good map, very good maps coming up. Like I am really, like you said, Breeze. I'm keen to see what both the teams bring to the table here.
Absolutely. Breeze is going to be very interesting. If it goes to Split, that's also going to be one that you kind of want to buckle down for, not really miss any of the action, because the game could flip at a moment's notice. And given that Velocity have actually had a bit of a, I wouldn't really say a shuffle, but we do have a couple of players subbing out and someone else stepping in. I believe that person is. Things get really interesting there, right? Because Amataras was obviously the one they practiced with a lot, but Vibur is also just able to jump in and take up that mantle just fine. And I actually think that it's working out rather well for the side of Velocity. Can they keep that up, though? Can they keep that up against some of the top-tier teams and thrive under the lack of leadership that Amaterasu used to bring to the table previously? That's the bigger question, yeah. And I think that's a question that's probably going to be answered on Breeze itself. I don't think we're going to have to wait for Haven because, like we said earlier, Breeze is a map that both of these teams are really close on. So it's going to be interesting to see. But we've been talking a lot about these teams. I think we should jump straight into the introduction for at least one of them and have a look at what they're made of. Let's have a look at Bleed's lineup have a look at their players once again in case there's some people tuning in for the first time and they haven't had a look at their roster. Bleed, of course, a very stacked team from Singapore, and like you mentioned, these guys, they're the ones you want to take down if you want to establish a foothold in Southeast Asia. So
I
yeah,
mean, it's like it's the same since the CS days, right? Like you used to have Entity, Signify, and all these guys vying for the top spot in the country, but they somehow always fell short when it came to taking down the big guns in SEA. You had your Forsakens, your Benkais, your Achaps, and all these guys. They would just come in and it looked like this is just a practice match. But things have come a long way since then. Like we actually take the game to the boys from Singapore. We have improved a lot in our tactics, our approach, our mentality, and it's just I'm just astounded to see the progress that we've made in these past couple of years. And with the launch of Valorant, I think that's only going to get accelerated because it's a new game, right? We arrived late to the scene when it came to CS:GO, but we've been there since day one on Valorant, and we are making a mark. Like Global Esports, Velocity, Enigma, all these guys, they've been scrimming with Singapore teams from day one, with other teams from Asia, and it shows in their game. Like these guys, it's a lot more organized, it's a lot more structured, it's a lot less aim heavy and a lot more brain heavy, which is always like it's always good to see that kind of approach. And that brings me back to Amaterasu, right? For me, he's been one of the most standout thinkers in Indian Counter-Strike when he was playing for Entity, and him taking on the mantle of the coach now that he is not active in the active roster for a while. It'll be a very good calming influence on the other five, because Amaterasu can bring his expertise and game knowledge while they have the raw firepower in Helef, in Deathmaker, in Mazel, in Ace, and Vibhor. So Vibhor, from what I've seen, is like a linchpin. Like he holds that team together. You can always depend on him for the clutches, and he delivers way too often. And I'm really excited to jump into the games and see what awaits us. But yeah, let's.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna have to disappoint you there a little bit. Unfortunately, there is a bit of a small technical issue at the works here, but we're gonna quickly get that fixed and come right back and make sure that the map is live and running when we're back. So, unfortunately, we're gonna be cutting to a short break. But until then, you can check the QR code that comes up, scan it for a good Red Bull, and enjoy the show. But we're gonna be back in just a bit with AMD presents the Esports Club Showdown Valorant, powered by Red Bull. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to AMD Presents the Esports Club Showdown Valorant powered by Red Bull. Sorry for the unfortunate technical delays. We are about to fix them, and they should be fixed up soon enough, and we're going to be jumping straight into the game. Fet, sorry to cut you off so short. You are very excited for the game, but...
Dude, I mean, it's okay, man. Technical issues happen. There's part and parcel of online esports.
Oh, yeah.
We're all used to it. These things happen. It's no one's fault. I
Mhm.
mean, you don't really control the internet. The internet controls you. That's
Yeah.
that's life in 2021. But I mean, yeah, I guess we'll be getting back into the game very soon. But before we do that, I mean, let's just take a look at the map veto once again, and
Yep.
let's just see what let's just theory craft as to how you or I would set up on a map like Breeze. Like, what would be your agent picks? What do you think are the best agents for a map like Breeze? How would you set up your team? What would you go
Mhm.
about doing? Let's have a fun
Okay.
exercise.
All right. So, let's say I'm playing Breeze. I'm starting out on defense, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
I obviously, so there are three picks that come to mind that I really want, and that's the Viper,
Mm-hmm.
a Cypher, and a Sova.
Okay.
All these three picks, pretty self-explanatory, but I feel like Sova on this map is very important. I don't think you can get away without having a Sova. It's
Mm-hmm.
just those recon darts early on are way too important to get you a lot of information and allow you to adjust your positioning on the map accordingly. Cypher, because of the obvious lurk potential and the obvious backstab plays that you can make, assuming, of course, there's not a Cypher in the opponent team.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Vipers are pretty much a no-brainer here. When it comes to the other two agents, this is where I tend to, gravitate a little bit elsewhere. I feel like having a Jet and a Reyna can be really big on this map instead of having another Sky. Sky is obviously, of course, a broken agent and a very, very strong agent, but I feel like a lot of playmaking potential exists between those two duelists, and I actually think that's a somewhat of an underrated aspect of Breeze. Just the fact that with all the information that you're going to have coming in from a Sova and a Cypher, you can
Mm-hmm.
make good use of it, giving your duelist a lot more room to work with, because there are lots of places where you can play aggressively and start squeezing the map away from the enemy team. But yeah, the map is upon us, and now it's your turn, Fed.
Well, so I'd not okay, yeah, Cypher is very good, but very situational, and I feel is rather limited in terms of being more viable on the defensive side as compared to the offensive side.
Mm-hmm.
So I would switch out a Cypher for a Sage,
Mm-hmm.
and I would always run a Sky because the amount of defensive and offensive potential that one broken ass agent offers is
Mm-hmm.
just
Too
it's just too
much.
much for me to ignore.
Yeah.
But Sova would be there definitely, and I'd go for a Jet, but
Mm-hmm.
and Viper. Like that would be my ideal lineup. I may switch out the like
The Jet,
not the Jet, but the
Cypher,
like
the Sage.
I'd
You
switch
had you
out
picked the Sage.
the Sage. Yes, I may
Yeah.
switch out the Sage for the Cypher.
Mm-hmm.
Just for that added info potential. Like you have 3 gatherers in
Mm-hmm.
that case. You have your Labradoodle from Sky. You have
Mm-hmm.
Sova's darts and Cypher's cams. But I think Sage is slow, especially being deployed towards that mid tube area.
Mm-hmm.
She can control the map. Just use the skylights to drop the slow orbs either towards the A or the B bomb site. There's very easy lineups for that, and you can
Yeah.
delay pushes till Kingdom Come, or even switch out Cypher for an Astra, because vision and map control again
Yeah.
very important in this game, as important as information, and you already have 2 info operators. But anyway, let's see what the game
Yeah.
has in store for us, and I cannot wait for things to unfold.
Oh yeah, this is a match that almost everyone has been waiting for. You know, a Velocity going up against the side of Bleed Esports, and I'm quite interested to see who comes out on top now. It's gonna be the side of Velocity starting out on offense, so they've adjusted accordingly. They've picked up the Sova and the Sky, of course, and gone for the Cypher. So a lot of information for them to work with.
Yeah.
A fair amount of look potential as well, but yeah, once again, this lineup it does shine a lot more on defense. So I want to see them string together a couple of rounds on offense too. But I imagine it's the defense where the side of Velocity are really going to be playing. I feel like offense is more of just survive, don't lose too much, and you get some work done.
True, and look at that, man. Like the lineups, dude, we can do this.
Yeah.
But I want to see where the Viper walls get put up. Yeah, there's one standard defensive wall across the A bomb site towards the entrance. Ooh. We're getting them fancy cams from Hellf. So, you know, a lot of people don't really remember, but Hellf used to be called Hellfighter back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Hellfighter and a Hell Ranger.
Yes. And the problem with boomers like me is that, you know, we're like, back in my day, yeah, you whippersnappers don't remember, but back in my day, this guy was called Hellfighter. Like this is me, guys, okay? Hellf, yes, for younguns, but nice smoke, blocking off the mid vision, and team is looking to split towards the B bomb side, getting elbow control. Deathmaker gets the opening kill. Frosty with the quick trade. It's still 4v4, but Marzil, he's gonna get a kill. Bleed Lexi. Oof. Lexi's clicking heads off the server, and in the blink of an eye, we have Bleed just completely decimating things. But it's now all down to Mr. Vibhor. 1v2. He's the Viper. He can isolate angles. He can do a lot. But, ooh, he's taking damage. He's getting shot through the smoke. And he is outies. He's got the spike. He's got 70 HP to work with. And he's up against it. This is going to be a tricky 1v2 situation, because the players don't look like they're giving any quarters here. They're playing 1v1s. Oh, he isolates one of them, and now it brings it back down to a 1v1. There's 40 seconds left on the clock. He can possibly make his way towards the A bomb site and maybe get the bomb down, but
30 seconds
Chrysania is hot on his heels and doesn't look like he's going to get much time after that plant goes down. This is going to come down to the wire. Chrysania spots out Vibhor, gets the kill, secures the round. Vibhor doing a very good job, but Bleed Esports hold on and secure the pistol.
Absolutely. Great round coming in from Vibhor towards the end. Almost manages to take out Chrysania. I think if he had just like another shot there, Chrysania was done for. But you can't expect much more out of the man when he's in a 1v2, you know. So kudos to him for actually getting the spike down. Great start for Bleed, though. The fact that they've managed to win the pistol means the momentum is pretty much in their favor. We can see VLT buy up a couple of sheriffs, so maybe even Spectres if they're feeling a little frisky, but I don't think they're going to go for that round. That's not VLT. That's not what VLT does, you know. They maybe gonna let DM get away with the Marshal, and that's about it. They're gonna be happy with that. They're like, okay, DM, if you get a couple of kills, we win the round. If you don't, that's fine. We'll try again.
Yeah, and like I like it's it's understandable for not going for that full commit force buy, because you want the guns on you as quick as possible, especially because you did get the spike down. Both strats are viable, but with that Marshall, it does give you that little extra, shoot potential. Maybe you click a few heads and
Flash your own teammates. Yep, a little bit. Hellfighter though, still good for one. And okay, DM just woken up from his slumber as he takes on Jarpix, leaving Lexi somewhat alone on the A side. And Hellfighter still holding the flag with the classic. Has managed to take down first off. That's a Vandal secured for them. Can pass it on to a more healthy player. And Velocity are just tearing this anti-eco apart coming in from Bleed.
Yep, and this is the thing about VLT, right? These guys are notorious for their thrifty wins. These guys are good when it comes to just having limited utility and pistols. Very organized, and you can see that these guys aren't giving up any free frags. They're playing together, strength in numbers, getting these isolated picks, and Lexi getting all the info. But there you go, firing squad. He peeks out and he knows,
left.
and that's when Lexi knew that he,
Yeah.
messed up. Let's Frosty is in a bit of a sticky situation. Gets one, but DM with that instant trade, and there we go. Thrifty comes out from the attackers, and VLT securing a rather unlikely round. I did not expect Bleed to be this disorganized in their anti-eco.
Yeah, definitely seems to be the side of Bleed getting a little carried away after the first round. They thought they had it in the bag, took a few too many liberties, and the side of Velocity were quick to punish. But once again, Apes together strong. There's going to be a bunch of Vandals coming out. Bleed, they're going to let go of those guns and just try to get the buy round up and going as quickly as possible, because Velocity is going to get away with a lot over here. You don't really want to add fuel to the fire at this point.
Yep, the pop flash comes out, but you see how Velocity set up. There's a Sova waiting around the corner just in case the two securing the orb get flashed. I love this kind of team play that we're getting to see from Indian teams of late, and I'm just really happy about where this is going to end up. Mazel securing the first pick onto Jarpix. Sova may want to try doing some damage with that shock dart. Gets one, but flurry of kills back and forth, and that's the round done for. 2 casualties. I think Velocity will be okay with that. Bleed doing decent amount of damage, and now it is their buy round. I hope that they can put together a better defense than what we saw on the anti-eco.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a very important round for them too. This is going to pretty much decide the tempo of this first half. And the side of Velocity, they're okay even if they lose this one. Their money's looking good. They're not too afraid about losing this round in particular. Deathmaker is going to have those knives up and running. So really a round for the side of Bleed to really win, because if they don't, then they kind of just screwed economy-wise and round-wise.
I like how the Sova on Bleed is trying to get the timing down on those shock darts towards elbow, and we do see some presence. But there we go. The Labradoodle comes out. It's gonna give them information, and there we go. Jet has been discovered. Unfortunately, there's no swing behind that, so it's just gonna be info glean. But that's also a very good thing for Valorant. This game is just hinges on how much information you can gather.
Yep, absolutely. With those 3 agents that they have, the discipline from Velocity as well to not really go and buck wild and play this round slow, showing a lot of restraint, not very characteristic. And now with the Seekers, they're actually going to try to sprawl towards the side. They spot out the Jet, but they're not going to be able to get the kill. Deathmaker going to go straight towards shot. The tripwire is going to be destroyed. Or no, he actually ends up eating the concuss there. A little bit of damage done, but the Cypher is going to go down in the end. Right to his takes him out. Marshall's going to find another. And all of a sudden, this round becoming very, very hard for the side of Bleed as they find themselves in a 2v4. TM still working his way around the corner, shuts down Jarpix, leaving only Crusadia in a 1v4, and Deathmaker. He's got some death to deliver, and boy does he deliver.
Deathmaker, this, I think this is the most appropriate in-game name I have seen in history. Maybe after Ye. But apart from that, Deathmaker, he delivers death on a platter to the opposition. I have not seen him have a quiet game or have a game in which he hasn't had critical impact till date, be it CSGO or Valorant. This man is a gem. We must protect him. It is Yeah, he's just so good. He's just so good at what he does. And that again, with on the back of that loss, it's another eco coming out from the defenders and Bleed. I mean, they do have the knives out on the Jet. Maybe could do something. If the Jet can find a couple of isolated fights, could turn the favor in Bleed's direction. But the way that VLT have been playing thus far, it doesn't look like they're keen on giving these cheap 1v1s away. But this time around, they're playing a very spread out default. So it could be dangerous. But as I say that, Vibhor opening things up with the frag onto Lexi. Man advantage squarely in favor of the attackers. And Frosty, he's going to go hunting. He's pushing. And ooh, there we go. He gets spotted out though. They know the knives are out. They need to be careful. And Vibhor, he is not messing around. And Mazel on the flank.
Enemy remaining.
Yikes.
Control that spray, but unfortunately he is going to be falling by the wayside. 4-1. Very good start from Velocity.
Absolutely. This is Velocity coming out swinging, and I don't see how Bleed actually recover from this. The good news for them is that they've got Frosty's operator up and running, so they can have some more relief in this round. But once again, it's about finding those picks, and it's about getting that operator to work, right? Because with the 3 information agents that you have, this operator could very easily be discovered and just be avoided for the critical part of this round. So it doesn't seem like Velocity are going to give away any of those free picks, but okay. That is an interesting position to hope. Frosty is actually holding towards Hordes. He might be able to find one here. Hellfighter being rather disciplined, but Deathmaker out in the open. And Frosty, does he check this?
I mean, he is gonna. There we go, gets the first pick. And see, that's the thing with Jet, right? It's so difficult to get a trade in on a Jet and Arena once they pick up the operator, and one can dismiss and one can just fly out. And Frosty, although DM is in the back lines, ooh, First Love needs to be careful. There we go. That's the trade. Jet is now getting pincered. And okay. Deathmaker. Chrysania goes down. That's the Viper taken out. The controller, that is huge. And now Frosty in a very sticky situation with that operator all alone on the bomb site.
But look at the play coming in from Velocity. They've actually taken the liberty to get some control towards Elbow instead. There's only a lonely Cypher by that site, and Velocity can just branch out towards B instead. They know that they've drawn in the rotations coming in over here, and sure, Deathmaker falls, but the map, it's wide open. Right choice is going towards Halls. They still haven't got new tunnels, but that's the spike going down. That's absolutely massive coming in from Bleed. Now in a 3v2, and Vibhor still hold. Another flash coming through. He's going to get one going. Vibhor unable to do much in that situation, but a rare miss coming in from Frosty. Vibhor does not get in position, but Marcel still cleans out Jarpix. He's keeping Vibhor alive. The spike, though, still on the floor with 10 seconds remaining on the clock. All Frosty needs to do is deny the spike plant, and Vibhor trying his best to get it planted, and he is going to be successful. The Cypher is not going to be able to stop him in time. And sure, he gets cleaned up, but the spike gets planted. A faint glimmer of hope there towards the end, Fed, but just gets taken away by the side of Bleed and their immaculate play.
Yeah, and I mean, that's where discipline really comes into play, right? I think they left the rotation on the spike a little too late. I think the intention was still to hit towards the A bomb site while trying to sell a fake towards B. But Chrysania, I think, not Chrysania, Frosty with the AWP kind of rained on their parade. Unfortunate there for DM, he gets caught weapon switching. Couldn't really get even a shot off as the Jet peeked him, and he just died. But such a great opening presented there by Deathmaker, getting those 2 kills on the flank. Little bit of a misplay, but then again, I guess these things happen like at the spur of the moment. You don't really know. They don't have the bird's eye view that we do.
Okay, no. They both get tacked up here, and Frosty capitalizes. He finds Ace.
That is bad because Ace is their primary initiator in this case. He's got the kit that gets all the info, and without him, this is gonna prove to be a little bit of a sticky situation. They restore parity. Nice shot there from Vibhor.
Okay.
Onto the doppelganger Viper, but all right. Deathmaker knives out. Can he do more? Vibhor just not stopping. 70 HP, no problem. Deathmaker in the meantime picks up Jarpix. Hellfighter gets Lexi, and in the blink of an eye, sweet knives to the face, and
My God.
just like that. It's done. Round's over.
Yeah, it's done and dusted. Their economy once again broken. It's and it's not the single straw. It's the million underneath it that broke the camel's back. This is not this particular round that was problematic. It's all the ones before this. And Bleed, they're really starting to feel the brunt of that anti-eco loss now. Down 3 rounds, probably gonna have to give this one up as well. And Velocity off once again to a flying start here. They've got all the money in the world, 6,000 creds at least on 3 of them, and this one should just be a freebie. But a quick push coming in from the side of Bleed. They might be able to find multiple over here, and there you go, the firing squad lining them up. First love finds 2, and we're both trying to restore some sanity for the situation. Gets that snake bite going, right to ace cleans up, and they avoid heavy losses, only losing the Sky and the Jet. Cresania, that actually does do a fair bit of damage, but Hellfighter with the superior weapon cleans him up.
I mean, nice try there. That A push could have had massive potential in terms of damage, but Vibhor, very nice adjustment. Mazel with those 2 kills, crucial in slowing them down. And after that, the fact that, the Viper Spit comes out and it just stops the pushes, denies them access to those 2 dropped weapons, and then Ace is allowed to swing and clean up the kills. Again, very good team play being displayed here. Good discipline. They're not isolated. They're playing the anti-ecos properly. They're bunching up. They're letting their superior weaponry sing and not allowing themselves to get caught off guard. I have been impressed by what Velocity is bringing to the table.
Absolutely. I mean, once they caught wind of that first anti-eco round, they just haven't let go yet. No slip-ups here and there. No one being overly aggressive. And just great aim overall. I think Vibhor bringing that round back with that kill was pivotal in turning it around. And all of a sudden, you see Bleed, they kind of want to restore some sanity in their own players' minds, and they take the timeout. But one can't help but think, is this too little too late? Because once again, the economy is not looking the best. They need to fight and claw their way back into this game somehow. But even the best case scenario for them taking 2-3 rounds in a row, it's still not the end of the world for Velocity just because of the amount of bank they've built up. I mean, look at that. 8,000 creds on 2 of their players, 7,000 on Hellfighter. This is just nuts.
Yeah, man. Like they're swimming in it right now. They're basically Scrooge McDucks on the server. Like so much money. And I like what First Love's doing though. He's getting some early information. And there's we go, the instant response coming out from Velocity as well. They're gonna just walk into the A bomb site, and this is gonna get very dangerous for the guys on the A bomb site. They're just dry peeking this. There's so much utility still left on everybody. Is this wise? We're gonna have to wait and find out. The flashes coming. Jarpix and Lexi are just not having any of this noise. Lexi is laying down the law. Finally does get domed by Ace, but Frosty is able to get that final kill, and Cresania cleans things up with the kill onto Hellfighter. And that was a quick round.
Yeah, great job by Bleach just stopping the push there. Velocity this time around not really finding any of those opening frags. They needed to get some map control. Great job with the Cypher just staying alive in that situation, just making sure he goes inside the Cypher's cage, doesn't get pinged out by the recon dart, and just keeps himself alive. Didn't even get caught out by the spam coming in from Marzel and everyone else. So absolutely great stuff coming out from Bleed, but once again, Velocity, they're just never going to back down with the amount of money that they've built up. Although Bleed, they should be feeling some semblance of relief now. They do have an okayish bank themselves, and if push comes to shove, they can. He's going to try his luck towards alls. This time around, not find anything. And Velocity taking 3 players towards mid. They find First Love. And like you said, one of the most crucial agents being taken out of play over here. They find Lexi to follow up as well. No Tripwires in play anymore. Jarpix, he gets Hellfighter, and Frosty in a good position, but can he find those frags?
I've got your track.
Looking to get rid of Seekers. Oh, misses the no-scope. He pulls out the knife, jumps into the head. DM is going to get cleaned up, and Christina also got Muzzle in the meantime, but both somehow took out Jarpix. The pit comes out. Got a lot of HP. Oh, and Frosty with the shot, he cleans him up. Being only right to Ace in a 1v1. He takes one of them down the Viper Spit, going down the off. He misses. And Frosty still looking to make this work over here, but doesn't really have the weaponry to pull this one through. Right to Ace. All he has to do is wall, but okay. That's a little bit of confidence coming in from there, swinging out for that kill.
Oof. What a crisp, clean headshot there from Ace. And Frosty, I mean, looked like he kind of messed up there with that miss on the op, but then more than makes up for it. And Ace just ice in his veins in a 1v2 situation, isolating those two 1v1s, cleaning up the round, closing it out. Very well played for him. And this is a very bad outcome for Bleed, because they don't necessarily have the money. They just got reset. And yeah, you can see that in their buy. It's a scrounged together half buy. And it's the half is quickly slipping away from them. But Mazel, is he ready for the elbow peak? No, he's not.
Well, Bleed, when swimming against the tide, they do swim really far and fast upstream, but it's still a 5v4 for them with inferior weaponry. First Love with just a sheriff to work with. Just trying to get some information for his team. DM realizes that there's a player playing towards that position, calls out to his team, and despite Velocity losing a player, they know that they have the superior weaponry, so they're playing this a lot slower. Waiting for the side of Bleed to get a little bit aggressive, but Bleed, they have no reason to push here. They can just continue holding on. They're happy with the state of this game right now, Fed.
Yeah, I mean, they have the man advantage. There's no need to push out any further. They've already seized the initiative. Now it's about securing the rest of the round. Frosty with that Marshall could be huge if he does manage to land those sexy headshots. But so far, he's just spamming that smoke, trying to connect something. Lexi, he's gonna go peeking. He has an idea, but I mean, the sheriff at that range is never gonna come out on top of two automatic rifles. And there we go. That A defense quickly crumbling. Jarpix coming in with the assist. That Hawk will blind two of the players, but it doesn't matter because the walls are up. Jarpix, ooh, not.
Nasty. As we say in Riot Games, that's illegal.
In the half.
That was some four-dimensional chess shots right there. Just knew exactly where the Viper was coming in from and just timing him. Beautiful. Very good round coming out from VLT. Good discipline, good execution, good everything. 8-3, we're going into the final round of the first half. What do you think, Floki? 9-3 or 8-4?
Hey, I hope it's 8-4. I don't want to see it go to 9-3. I'm more than happy with the side of Velocity getting one round less if it means they don't land on the infamous cursed scoreline. But given the fact that Velocity has been playing this with discipline, maybe they just have what it takes to outdo the curse here. Jarpix are very aggressive towards mid early on, and this is really good for Bleed as they find a lot of early map control. Getting Frosty in a good position with the operator is going to be huge. They're going to be able to cut off any rotations coming in back from B towards A. And it's pretty much going to be down to Hater and Deathmaker to find some sort of opening over here. Unless right to Ace gets a little greedy. Mazel, you can see he's going to flash his way through. He realizes that they gave up a fair amount of mid control and does not peek. But Vibor actually finds Cresania towards B. Jarpix bounces when the time comes, and Lexi also finds Hellfighter. Mazel there with a return kill, making it a 3v3. But still, HP-wise, it does still favor the side of Bleed. Although, they have A control. They're going to be able to get the spike planted down over here. Unless Lexi has an idea about this. No, he does not. Deathmaker finds that kill. Frosty still towards mid with the operator. Finds Mazel. And now a 2v2.
This could get very tricky for First Love. He's holding the angle, waiting for backup to arrive. And it is arriving in the form of Frosty with the big boomstick. And, oh, DM, he's been isolated. He's been found out. But that smoke, so well done. In the meantime, Frosty, he's going to have two people to worry about in two different angles. And right to Ace, like we've said, this man is calm, collected, and deadly. There we go. 9-3 in favor of Velocity Gaming. That's how the first half ends. And now let's see what Bleed have in store for us when it's their turn to be the aggressors.
Oh yeah, complete whitewash from the side of Velocity, and just goes on to show really how bad those anti-eco rounds can turn out to be. And boy, do Bleed feel it. I mean, good half change, but once again, you've got to put together how many rounds on offense is that? That's at least 10? That is a tall order. I mean, that is assuming the side of Velocity screw up. That is assuming the side of Velocity don't win the pistol and make life harder for Bleed than it already is.
Yeah, I mean,
have to get creative here.
I agree. And if Velocity managed to pick up the pistol, that's going to be just the icing on the cake because they've had a very dominant first half performance. Mazel, oh my god, that is just a sit down if I've ever seen one. Flash peek, not today, but Vibhor with the cleanup gets one. He's trying to do more. Oh, the spike is down. But the A hit has come in earnest, but it doesn't matter. Ace cleans up Lexi. And now it's all down to Cresania and Frosty. They're spread apart. They may look... Wow. well, scratch that.
Okay.
It's just down to Frosties.
Oh yeah, and he's made all the noise in the world, so they know where he is now.
And Hellfighter is on that flank. Does Frosty expect it? He does get the kill onto Vibhor, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Deathmaker makes the sheriff look like an operator, dude. Ow.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a player more deadly on a server than Deathmaker. You know, when you're up against him and he has that chef and he even has an inkling of where you are, those shots are gonna come raining in, and there's not much you can do to avoid this, man. And once again, the pistol not going the way of Bleed, they are forced into very shaky territory over here. They've decided to buy up a Marshall on Frosty. Not sure what Jarpek spent his money on. Probably going to be utility. And you have Cresania buying up the Ghost as well. So it's do or die now for the side of Bleed. And we'll see if when the pressure mounts, they collapse or they're going to prevail here.
Oh, this could get dicey. They're bunched up towards the mid tunnels and towards A. The Ultop has been taken and Hellfighter is going on a fact-finding mission all by his lonesome. Needs to be careful. Hellfighter does pick up Frosty. He's going to make his way back. Oh, just the security spray down. All right. Cresania.
One enemy
Oh
remaining.
my god.
Spike down. A.
Okay, Deathmaker.
Okay then. Okay then, Deathmaker. Okay. We get it. You're God. We get it.
My goodness, I mean, that was insane. You know, there's just no way on earth Velocity. How do I even say this? I don't think they had a single casualty there. All of them survive. They carry the shields from that round, by the way, which they don't have to spend a single cent more on. That's 1,000 creds being saved for each of them. Absolutely massive wins. But Bleed can still do this. Only problem is they have to do this 7 times in a row.
Yeah, and then some, because
Yeah.
Velocity are slowly inching their way towards map point, and you can see the switch up from Blade lot slower. They're not really
Yeah, they're not really
actively-
rushing
yeah.
this one down.
But I think the jig is up to some extent. Sova's recon owl drone will be able to tell the fact that, glean the fact that it is a pretty mid-heavy presence. They've spotted out Sky, and I think Sova may have spotted the barrel of a gun on that owl drone. But if Sova peeks this, he's gonna be in for a world of hurt.
Okay, Frosty, that is an interesting dash there. Been shot from the side of his head if he wasn't careful. Hellfighter still playing inside the Viper's.
down.
Oh, he's inside the poison cloud and they actually find those kills. Oh no, this is going from bad to worse for the side of Bleed as Frosty gets caught in a tripwire there. And Deathmaker towards mid might meet his end, but no. Cypher does not actually go for that peek. That jaw fix trying to flick towards Deathmaker's direction, but Hellfighter's there. Secures his positioning and Vibhor, okay. Lexi hasn't given up just yet. He's still alive. He's still standing strong, and he says, "You can count on me." But this is a tall order with the spike being dropped towards tunnels and Marzel marking it. He is gonna have to isolate these spikes like a god, and Marzel's gonna say, "No, no, no, not today." My God.
Match point.
That's the thing, right? On the team, on this VLT side, so many people can op, as well as rifle. Deathmaker, he's equally potent on scope weapon as well as an automatic rifle. Same with Marzel, because on Signify, Marzel used to be the secondary opper, and it shows.
Oh, yeah.
Those skills definitely translate over towards Valorant, at least the point and click aspect of the game. And you kill one, there's always another one to take up the mantle, and you have to dismantle everyone on this VLT side to make anything happen. But it looks like it's going to be a fast play this time towards the A bomb side, and
Oh no, they're pushing this with the snake bite. They're gonna get flashed as well. Vibhor's gonna find one for free. Frosty gets cleaned up over here. And right to he's just giving up ground, but still manages to take down Cresania. Vibhor on 6 HP gets another one. Gets shut down in the end by Lexi, and Postlup gets another. So they managed to try to pull this round together, but it's just not happening. Deathmaker cleans up Lexi, and now it's all down to the SOA. Not the best agent to have in a 1vx scenario, but that short dart! That lineup coming in from First Love, absolutely nutty. Hellfighter is still lurking. And Deathmaker is gonna find that GG is called Bleed. They are done for. 3.5.
13-3. Oh god, that was a very one-sided game. We were expecting Bleed to have something ready for Breeze, but it looks like the scoreline speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Wow, very dominant performance there from Velocity Gaming, and
Mhm.
what do I say, man? That was a glorious thing to witness, to all things said
Oh,
and done,
yeah.
because that was dominant and that was pristine.
Yeah.
Deathmaker there with what, 23 frags in
Hmm.
16 rounds. Again, he's got a KD of over 4. What does this man eat for breakfast? I want to know, because that
I
is
don't think you
insane.
can eat anything for breakfast that's going to get you to his level. It's all about the genetics at this point. Either you're born with it or you're not.
That
Yeah.
is insane. Very well played from Velocity. And I think
Hmm.
this is going to give them that, boost of injection that they will need going into Haven, which is Bleed's map pick. And
Yeah.
let's not count Bleed out. They've put in some stellar performances over the course of this tournament, and we know that they're a very capable team and a very strong set of players. So the work is still cut out, has still been cut out for Velocity Gaming. It is not over by any stretch of the imagination,
Yeah.
and this just makes me more excited for Haven, because I'm pretty sure Bleed will be rearing to, like, okay, fine, you spank us on your map, all right, it's our turn now. And if that happens, it's gonna make things spicy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Spicy. Absolutely. I mean, this is going to be a big mental reset too for the side of Bleed. Because at this point, I'm quite sure Bleed is just thinking, guys, okay, this map is done and dusted. Let's just start thinking about Haven. Just get over it already. We don't have time to cry over spilt milk. And I'm really glad that I'm really glad that Velocity, while they did very handily, the side of Bleed, they just quickly type out GG as soon as the last player dies, and they're like, okay, time to just leave the server, reset mentally. I believe one of the players almost instantly left after the jet time, and they're like, okay, I'm done and dusted. He was just like waiting for that disconnect button to come through.
Yeah. No, but like that's the thing with these top tier teams as well, right? Like, yeah, you lost your opponent's map pick. Big deal. Brush it off. They're
Hmm.
gonna reset and come back again. And speaking of drubbings and brushing things off, let's just take a look at the highlights and see like relive some of the glory moments from that monstrous performance from Velocity.
Yeah, this was insane coming out from them. I don't think I've ever seen a team before carry an advantage until the very end over here. I mean, even when the half changed, it seemed like Velocity, they were still mentally, on edge. They just had the better, uh,
Everything.
mental everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely, won by such a huge margin. So you win the half by such a huge margin. Going to the next half, they weren't wide at all, and you can see Bleed. They were starting to crumble, even though the half side switch came. That's not the end of the world, though. I mean, sure, Velocity, they have a very great performance on this, but Bleed, they know what the issue was over here, and I'm quite sure they're going to correct that for Haven. Uh, Often you're going to see teams, they tend to either double dip on the aggression once they lose like this, or, they just completely cower in fear and never try to peak their opponents. But Bleed, considering the caliber of these players, I'm quite sure that they're going to be able to reset mentally and just play those anti-ecos with a bit more discipline, right? Because that's really what just broke the camel's back.
Yeah, man. Like that first gun round after picking up the pistol that they kind of lost. Like it was a bit scattered. It was not very well thought out. They were all over the place. Trades just weren't there, and like you said, ape to get kills, which is where I think Velocity have done a tremendous job of instilling discipline into this lineup and be more systematic and organized in their approach to these anti ecos, and it really shows in their gameplay. This is a team that very rarely uh props rounds for no rhyme or
Mm-hmm.
reason. Sometimes they do, sometimes the blood rushes to your head, you're all young, Josh, Javani ka Josh and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, these guys have like level heads on their shoulders and they prevail, and that is something that we witnessed. Like even the rounds that they lost, it looked like they were calculated losses just so that they could reset the economy. And
Yeah.
that is just some next level thinking coming out from Velocity, if that was the case, and I think it was.
Oh yeah. I mean, when Amaterasu at the helm as a coach now, like you've mentioned, I'm quite sure they're going to be seeing a lot more of this coming out now that he has more time to think and he's not too worried about angles and positioning and utility and all that. Amaterasu is just going to be guiding his team towards victory. And in a strange way, it seems that even though he is out of the roster, I mean, not precisely, but even though he's not playing as in, you can still feel like there is his presence somewhere or the other on this team. And it's just really good to see someone taking that mantle up, whoever it is on Velocity, and just keeping the team together as one. I imagine it's every one of these players. I don't imagine it's just one person. And I think that's really good for Velocity, because going up against these killer teams from Southeast Asia, if you want to survive in the showdown, you want to move on in the future, you're going to need that discipline. It's going to go a long way.
And
But
like, this isn't even the final boss, right? Paper X,
Yeah.
that's the final boss. And Paper X has been having a wild time so far in this tournament, just dominating throughout. So
yeah,
they need to bring their A game day in, day out now, especially because it's the lower bracket. One loss means you're going home. That's it. GG, well played. So there's literally no margin for error. And I am just really excited to see what Haven has in store for us. This is going to be Bleed Esports map pick. And I have an inkling that this is going to be a lot less one-sided of an affair. I hope so. I mean,
absolutely.
either that or Bleed just wipes the floor with Velocity, but that doesn't look likely. But there we go, the scoreboard, and Vibhor and Deathmaker. Oof, Deathmaker, 23 frags,
16 rounds, by the way.
16 rounds, exactly. Multi-kill almost every other round, and let's not discount the Hellfighter Ace Mazel had on those rounds. Like the controllers and the initiators and the sentinels, the way they relayed information, the way they held map control with just their utility and opened things up, enabling Deathmaker to just unfurl his wings and just shower death and destruction upon his enemies. It is at the end of the day a team effort, and Velocity put in a masterclass.
Absolutely, and a lot of these players, like you mentioned, they had some very good clutch rounds. All of them, right to ace. Muzzle with the double kill on the round where they got rushed together. Hellfighter as well on his lurks, just being able to open things up. Vibhor, I think, multiple times where they were at the man disadvantage, and Vibhor somehow brought it back by finding a frag and a sick nutty shot to the dome. Bleed Esports, of course, not having as great of a time. Everyone's struggling a little bit here and there. Frosty trying his level best there with the jet, but you're a single jet. Not everyone can just dash away on your team. Not everyone has that ability to do so. So naturally, somewhere or the other, Lexi, First Love, Jarpix, and Crescenio, all of them struggled a little bit. But Bleed, as long as they've got their finger pointing at the mistake and not at each other, they're still very much in the series. And Haven could, potentially be a closer affair, like you mentioned, but it could also be a whitewash. You never want to really anger the sides of these Southeast Asian teams, because when they start turning it on, boy, do you pray and do you start running for your life.
That is true. But Haven is a very different map from Breeze as well. Like I said, 3 bomb sites, very narrow choke points, and long line of sight, long LOSs towards all 3 bomb sites, and so many walls are just paper on that map. Like it's just very difficult to bring things back, especially on the defender side. It is tricky when you're on the defense on that map. But same goes to decimate you, and even the pushes from the defender side early round can catch a lot of attackers off guard. It is just such a dynamic map. I love watching Haven. And guys, we will be right back after a very quick break with all the action from Haven, which is going to be the second map in this best of 3 series between Bleed Esports and Velocity Gaming. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to A&D Presents the Esports Club Showdown Valorant, powered by Red Bull, of course. You can scan that QR code, get yourself a Red Bull, enjoy the show a bit more. But man, what a first map have we had between Velocity and Bleed. That was a spanking and a half, the likes of which I haven't seen in a while, at least in a tournament of this caliber, especially an Indian team going at it, just unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. So let's have a look at the recap and see exactly how that went. Fed 13 to 3. Ouch, that hurts.
Absolute drubbing. What a dominant performance coming out from VLT. And I think that's going to put the wind in their sails for the second map, Haven, which is going to be Bleed Esports map pick. Yesterday, I think Velocity was the only team that actually picked up a map which was their opponent's pick. And I think they'll be really excited and rearing to have a go at repeating that and closing out this series in a clean 2-0 and moving on with all the confidence and all the, goodwill of the fans behind them to charge them up and rally them to the finale and face off against the ultimate boss, which is Paper Rex for this tournament. So, yeah, good times ahead.
Absolutely. But before we actually get to that point, there's still Bleed Esports trying to make a stand over here after that backbreaking map 1. Thankfully, this is their map pick, so, they can dish it back out to Velocity in a similar fashion. And, just to add a little bit of spice over here, if you're someone who's been a Velocity fan and you've seen Velocity on Haven before, you know for a fact they've done experiments on this map, experiments that haven't worked out at times. And this is one of those maps where, you could say that Bleed Esports, if they're able to strike at the right place at the right time while the iron is hot, they could just break the side of Velocity Gaming if they do anything too funky here.
True, and I mean Haven, like we said, it allows for all these funky plays where you can push one place and then leave a lurk behind, catch the opponents on their rotations. You can push willy-nilly, get a lot of information, and just completely decimate your opponents. And there we go. The agent selection is coming in as expected. Sova is going to be a mainstay. Reyna on Crescenia. Now that is an interesting pick. The double duelist Reyna Jet, very viable on this map. But PLT, they're more conservative. They go for the single duelist on Deathmaker, who is Jet, who is an absolute demon on that agent. Ace on the Sky. Now that is the first time I'm seeing this, because usually it's Ace on the Sova, and that's his mainstay, that's his comfort pick. Almost. And Omen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is new. I mean, this is what I was speaking of, right? When I said funky, the board picking up the Sova is something that I have seen before, and I'm a fan of it. I like it, but just going off of your comfort picks to try and accommodate instead of someone like Mazel continuing to play this guy, and maybe giving Deathmaker something like a Killjoy, which he's also good on, by the way. He does play a fair bit of Killjoy, if I remember, if I recall correctly. So, this is where Velocity, they maybe could end up getting too ahead of themselves, but then at the same time, maybe the same could be said about Bleed as well, right? Because they go for the double duelist comp, a comp that screams, "I'm better than you," and we're gonna click more heads and get the economy rolling in our favor. But then again, at the same time, it's not something that Velocity can't handle. So this should be a fun one. Let's actually just dive straight in and see what's going to be happening here, Fed.
And here's the thing also, right? Like with both the Jet and the Reyna, you have two duelists to contend with where there's very limited trade potential, because Reyna can dismiss herself out of trouble and Jet can dash her way out of a sticky situation. And but I like the Astra pick coming out from VLT because it gives them a little more defensive solidity and allows them to get more interesting in terms of denying pushes with the kit that Astra brings to the table. But it does look like it's going to be a play towards the B bomb site straight off the bat from Bleed Esports, and the Jet has taken a spot of damage.
Oh yeah, but they're fine. But look at Crescenia going ham. Managed to get too quickly, going to be able to suck the other one as well. Get some HP back, but okay, Marzel, Hellfighter still fighting. Someone going to pull this one back, meaning Frosty in a 1v2. Marzel, dynamite, but he's not moving. He is just not going to give up any ground. Stays alive for the 2v1 instead. Let Frosty have the plant. Go in for the retake.
Spike planted.
But Frosty's going to do the smart thing. He's going to go aggressive. He's got the HP advantage for now, at least against Marzel. And he's going to take a very advanced position and he's going to try and smoke things off just so that he can isolate these angles, and he's going to spot one out. Doesn't matter. Hellfighter able to see, close things out, and wow. Velocity just picking up where they left off, picking up that pistol, and Mazel going huge in that round. Both Mazel and Hellfighter picking up a brace, a piece, and just keeping things together. Very well played.
Yeah, absolutely. Great round coming in from the side of Velocity once again. I mean, it looked like that should have been the round for Bleed, right? With those two insane kills coming in from Crescenia, being able to dismiss and get the HP back up, but somehow Mazel, this jiggling that corner like a madman, was able to pull it back, and now once again Bleed. Gonna be a bit of a soft commit from them with those sheriffs, just making sure the duelists have a chance of,
doing something, some damage.
Yeah.
And yep, that from Mazel, that previous round was just hashtag Peeker's advantage, and this game is notorious for that. And Deathmaker holding the timing. But how does it matter when you're just gonna one-shot them back to the starting point? Man advantage for Velocity. Crescenia, though, might be making look something happen. Mazel just missing out. He's alone. No, he's got Astra in support, and Ace is gonna go out on a fact-finding mission, and he's gonna find some facts. He knows he's gonna be in for the quick flank, and Mazel gets the first. Can he do more damage? Doesn't matter. Crescenia gets the first. Mazel gets the second, but Frosty with the right click ends things for Mazel right there, right now. It is a 2v3. They've picked up a couple of guns, but do they contend with Ace on the flank? Doesn't matter. Crescenia all by her lonesome. All by his lonesome. Reyna takes the plant. Deathmaker rattles off a few shots, and Crescenia gets tagged up pretty low, 3 HP, and Ace is on the flank. Doesn't matter when DM is there with the scoped weapons.
Right. How cracked is DM? He literally got that shot of based on the sound cue of the weapon being picked up by Crescenia. It's some next level game sense here. There's like wall hacks in his brain. This man can see where the opponent is just lurking through the shadows. God,
I mean, they may have the Omen, but we've got the true Shadow Walker here in Deathmaker.
Oh yeah.
and well, 2-1, still early days, but a good start for Velocity will give them that early confidence that all teams need to, have to string together a few rounds. It is an FPS. Momentum and confidence are just as important as... as I say that, Frosty's going to decapitate Hellfighter and Deathmaker by his lonesome. Will he get checked? Yes, he will. He's good for one. But Crescenia in for the trade. But okay then. Vibhor in with the quick trade. Vibhor gets two.
Spike down A.
And now they can go shopping. Now they can go shopping as well. They've got the spike control, and they know exactly where First Love and Gang are coming in from. And there's one. And there's the other. Vibhor with a nice 3K. 3-0. Flawless start to the game. Nothing better they could have asked for. And my word, Floki, what am I witnessing?
What you're witnessing is Deathmaker getting a good night's sleep and the rest of Velocity just waking up on the right side of the bed, right? This is not something I'm used to seeing. 3-0 in their favor, and they played that round to perfection. Vibhor with those peaks was just absolutely insane. Crescenia just not anticipating someone else to be there in the push, getting a bit too hasty once again. Bleed, they're very eager to take these fights, but they're not being cautious while doing so. They're just not watching their step, and Deathmaker once again is going to find Jarpex towards mid. That is a very key agent being taken off the board here. No SOA means no information, and they don't have any other agent. They're going to have to go for contact plays, and that's what they're going to try to do. It's going to be straight towards Garage, going to flush out that window. But there's still another Nanoswarm waiting for Marley. He's gonna pop it now as they spring into the trap, but they're able to get past, and okay, Hellfighter gets doomed, but does doom Crescenia before that happens, and okay, Mazel, take out the classic, show them who's boss. Alright.
Mazel just doing Mazel things, just staying alive, being a nuisance on that bomb site. They just lose one. Again, Velocity will be happy with how things turned out that round, but now, with the loss bonus mounting on the side of Bleed, do we see one round where they just give it up and try and reset the economy for Bleed? Because I mean, like we said last time around, we've got 5 Scrooge McDucks over towards Velocity, just swimming in the cash, loving life as it comes to them. But okay, very nice setup. setting up things towards the B and Garage. That allows them to play retake completely over towards B and focus towards the extremities. And it does look like it's going to be a hit towards the A bomb side. Hellfighter getting that early bit of information, falling back to more secure lands, and just will now try to stay alive. Chrysania, does he swing and decapitate Vibhor? That is the million-dollar question.
Not yet there. Learn from their mistakes, once spawned, twice shy. Took them 4 rounds to just kind of calm down the nerves a little bit and take the slow. And you can see now Velocity, they're starting to get a little bit angsty. They're taking forward positions. Soon enough, going to go on a fact-finding mission. Vibhor actually does use the all-in spot out Chrysania. Gets one, and Lexi, oh, look at that, just playing it slow. Gets Hellfighter, sees his battle sticking out, and that's his death. And now in a 5v4, they quickly fade back into the night, but guess who's waiting there? It's right to Ace, the thief. So he manages to steal 1 kill away. B control given up though, and this might just be the spike going down.
Oh, there's the ult coming in from Mazel, but Mazel is going to get taken out almost immediately. Just caught taking a stroll in a place where he shouldn't be walking. Deathmaker gets one, but the trade is there. Vibhor getting a second. It's down to a 2v2. But DM, he's low. He's throwing out the knives, but he's not connecting. That's very unlike what we've seen so far in the day. 2v2, clock sticking. This needs to be done right now, but doesn't matter. Chrysania, oof, what a crispy headshot. And now it's just Vibhor in a 1v2. Sova and Killjoy and Chrysania, they are bunched up together like a war duet, like a war duo, and there we go. The first round on the board for Bleed Esports, much needed. But like we said, money aplenty for VLT, and they should have another buy comfortably going into this next round. Whilst on the side of Bleed, it's not going to be that comfortable. They don't have all the money. They lost a few more than they would have liked to have lost in securing that first round, and they're going to have it stretched by.
Yeah, this is poverty days for the side of Bleed. They don't really have a lot of money in the bank. And if they lose this one again, it could just be Velocity just starting to ramp that money up again. But guess what? Lexi actually finds DM with his own operator, rubbing salt into the wounds there. As he manages to get that opening, and now VLT can be spread paper thin across the map. And wait, does Hellfighter only have a classic to work with? What the hell am I watching here? Okay, Frosty's gonna go for the teleport on top of the box, doesn't see anyone, so he's gonna call it off, and Hellfighter gets cleaned up. And now Mazel alone on the side, trying to delay the push, but it's actually gonna be right to Ace, and Mazel too. Okay, somehow they're shutting this one down. Right to Ace is there with the trade. How is Velocity keep doing this? How? Frosty will still make it a 1v1. Right to Ace is gonna get flashed up, the teleport coming in. Oh, he's not gonna anticipate this, or does he? Yes, he does! Right to Ace, ice in his veins, and grey matter in his brains. He wakes up, he eats almonds, he shoots heads, and he goes to bed.
Badam khao. This is why parents say badam khao. Such a smart play there by Ace, just spotting that sliver of the TP coming in from Omen, and then the game is up. Omen almost had that lineup, that 2-man spray down towards CT, but just unlucky there. Very good round coming in from VLT, and kudos to Mazel and Ace. Like, they held down that A bomb site. They dismantled that C hit. Sorry, the C hit.
Yep.
And it is a tactical timeout coming in from Amaterasu. And he is, I'm pretty sure now these are the mind games, right? You win a round, you've reset your opponents, now let them just marinate in their loss, like just soak in all the negative juices and just get bloated and make more mistakes. And I love this coming out from VLT. Not only are they winning in the physical game, but they're also on top right now in the mental aspect. And my God, the pressure is just piling on Bleed. Will they be able to come out with an answer? I mean, it's still early days. It's still the first half. It's not over till the fat lady sings. But so far, it looks like it's VLT's game to lose.
Yeah. I mean, VLT, they've just been on a roll in this game. Even though they've been caught with their pants down multiple times, they pull it right back up. They put a belt on, zip it up, and all of a sudden, there's nothing left to see anymore. And this time around, you can see Bleed, it's back to square one now. They're playing this a little bit more aggressively. Deathmaker, okay, he is gonna get spotted out over here, and now himself back into the corner, looks for the second one. He does not have a dash, but he's still getting the cross somehow with 75 HP, still alive. and standing. Nice paranoia coming in. That blinds the two of them, but Deathmaker once again towards Hell in a good position. And all this A main control, it means nothing because Velocity, they've lost absolutely nothing. But okay, when Jawpix is getting picks like those, then maybe, just maybe, Bleed actually have a chance.
Yeah, and not just that, the weapon is dropped and it's ripe for the taking. And Chrysania is chilling, just waiting for any aggression towards A mains. But it is looking like it's going to be Hellfighter coming in to the backlines. He's heard the alarm bot being deployed, so he's going to be wary. But his position can be critical. He can cut off this rotation even before it has any chance of materializing or solidifying into anything concrete. And Hellfighter, he's going to peek around the corner. Oh, just misses First Love, but he's going to post himself up here. There's a lot of information being relayed to the team saying that, okay, it is going to be an A-hit and Deathmaker with the op, making it sing, killing everything in his sight. Good night, Irene, for Frosty. You are just teleporting into his quarters. But First Love trying to make something happen, but it just is not clicking. And once again,
nice, but not nice enough to die.
Oh god,
Let's
Bleed
get out of
Esports. They're being made, like, they are being made to be, like, they're being bled, dude. They're being bled dry. One drop at a time, one round at a time, and it's gonna pile up. The mental pressure is gonna pile up, and I hope that Bleed have the mental fortitude to, pull themselves out of it and back into this game.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where the biggest thing that can help a team is actually just getting up and walking away from the computer for 30 seconds and coming back and sitting down, evaluating things from a more rational perspective. But they're gonna need a timer to try and do that. Velocity, okay, they gonna end up finding Chrysania once again in a very important round. Deathmaker, look at this man. Gets the kill, runs away, steals the show, gets a second one before he dies. Sure, the trade is there, but still a 4v3 for the side of Velocity, and look at all that. I mean, they're okay holding this down. Marcel's got the C side covered. There's Hellfighter just waiting towards B, and it's all going to be down to Lexi on the jet. Bit of a change up after the last game. He was playing the Cypher, and right to Ace, so cheeky, just sitting in that corner. If this goes unchecked, I'm pretty sure some keyboards are going to be smashed. But no, okay, the Seekers get used. Lexi now knows the flash is going to go through as well. And right to Ace gets the information, backs off to safety. And Hellfighter, he's aware this is a deep push coming in, and First Love just walks into his process.
Spike down.
I mean, this is ridiculous. You just last tag on Lexi. What is this? This is no, this is not Velocity. I mean, are we sure we're watching? Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. This is not what I'm used to seeing. Let's just put it very bluntly. Those of you who are gonna get this are gonna get this. Those of you don't are not going to. But man, to Bleed, they just need a moment to take a breath.
Yeah. And that's exactly what they've done. A tactical timeout being called by Frosty. They need to take a breather. They need to, pull themselves back away from their systems, like you said, just reconvene, reassess the situation, reevaluate, and then maybe try and scrape together some rounds on this attack half, because so far they have seen no joy. And 0 quarters have been given by Velocity Gaming. They have just hard shut them every push, all day, every day, just going in and creating as much trouble for them early round. Deathmaker, Jesus, this guy getting so many kills early round, putting so much pressure on Bleed. But this time, like, Mazel also chiming in with critical kills, making sure that his side stays on top of things. And it's been an all-round excellent team effort from Velocity in these first 8 rounds, and I hope that this tactical timeout is what Bleed Esports need to get back into this game. Looks like they're gonna have to wait for another round, because guess what? They are broke, completely out of money, scraping the bottom of the barrel kind of a situation, and they're gonna have to wait for the next round to get out with these buys. And DM looking for that first aggressive peak, and the Marshal is ready. It's prepared, and DM, night.
That is huge, just being able to find that first pick. But guess who's waiting here? Right to Ace. Oh, Jarpix, he's not gonna check the corner. He's happy spotting out Hellfighter, and right to Ace still hasn't made noise. So they could just line up for him, but no, they're gonna go towards B instead. Just looking to get the spike planted. They still haven't forgotten that this is an eco, and the objective is not to win the round. That is obviously great, but to get the money back in their favor, and for that they need to get the spike planted. Muzzle, he's
heading back towards garage, it seems. They're trying to work another pick just so that they can get that more into their favor. Ace restoring parity, but he's stuck in a very difficult position. He's going to go on a fact-finding mission. He's going to spot a bunch of players out towards B, and that's going to prompt the B hit. And Mazel, he's going to have to come out huge. He's the only player inside. He's going to have to stay alive, and the post plants coming in from Bleed are also pretty decent. They've abandoned the site. They're all playing from afar, trying to work on this plant. Just play off the diffuse sound. But there's the Astra wall. There's the play. But before, okay.
Well, they can still hold on to this courtesy of the nanoswarms. You have to remember there's also a Sova alt at the waiting. But the short darts are going to come through first. Marcel's going to get the half defuse in. Looking to tag the full, but no, he's not going to get it. Hellfighter gonna stick it again. But Lexi goes forward with the operator and gets the pick. Elsewhere, though, they picked up the kills right now. It's a 1v2, but Lexi with the stolen operator pulls it back somehow. Thrifty for the side of Bleed. And guess what? The money's going to come rolling right back in. Velocity, not so much. Deathmaker, though, one time decides to make an aggressive peek, he is reminded why he should just sort of stay defensive and not really go for those sorts of plays.
Yep, and once again, like this is a lesson for all who are watching. Apes together strong, guys. Always remember. Bleed just taking a leaf out of the book of strats from Velocity Gaming, bunching up together, playing for the trades, getting that early pick obviously helped them a lot, securing the man advantage, and then just hit the B bomb side and play for post plants. Very well done. Textbook eco round.
And now you can see VLT are a lot more conservative in their approach after what just happened last round. And Bleed, they've got so much more room on the map to work with. There's no presence towards A sewers. There's no one towards A main either. Right to Ace is just huddling in a corner in garage, towards B, and he's just waiting that someone walks into his crosshair. But that's not gonna happen. Frosty is gonna be using his teleport, giving away some information, but that's okay. They're gonna go for an A hit, and there's not a lot over here. There's only Vapor all by himself with a recon dart. The owl has already been used, and this is looking like it's gonna be their side for the taking. Now Hellfighter is gonna get the information relayed back over to his team. Deathmaker and Marzel, they're racing back across the map to make their way towards A. And now the drone coming in. This is gonna be the execute, but guess what? Velocity are back here. Bet this is not gonna be an easy take. Lexi, okay, it's gonna go in. The person will quickly shut him down. Does not find the second one. The Trusania is gonna trade him out. And there's the ult coming in from the kills, where they might just all end up getting detained. Where is the counterplay? It's not there. One of them is going to be detained over here. It's towards shot though, so it's not the end of the world, but they prevent the plant from coming through. And that's what's more important. Muzzle now towards Hell, looking to line them up. Spots out Jarpix, doesn't connect. Jarpix jiggling around the corner, gets one. Potentially had the second, but no, the trade came through. DM worried about the flank, doesn't see anyone there. Is going to pull out the knives, and oh god, First Love takes him out. Now with a 2v1 Bleed. Finally waking up with a deep slumber, and Hellfighter on the lurk is a bit too late. Party's already over. Go back home. There's no drinks, no food, absolutely nada. And that's it. This round is done and dusted. Lead. They get this one on board as well, 7-3. And guess what? BLT, they're broke.
Yeah, they're gonna have to come up with a half buy or scrounge some sort of semblance of a buy, because the money is gone, and that's how quickly the tides turn in this game. 2 rounds, that's all it took. 1 eco and 1 dominant performance during a buy round, and the money's gone. It's just not there. And it looks like it is going to be a thrifty coming out from the defenders. And here's the thing, there's not a single ult left for the defenders to make something happen this round. There was a huge commit in terms of ultimates in the previous round, and there we go. Marzel getting killed. Deathmaker also walking into the crosshairs of First Love. Just stepping in one by one is not going to be very helpful. And there's so much traffic headed Hellf's way, but he's good for 1. But at this point, this round is more or less in the hands of well, it is more of Bleed's round to lose, and Ace trying to make a play there, pop flashing through the smoke. Vibor rounds the corner and finds only death.
Oh yeah. Bleed just bringing this one back, and that half buy gonna really hurt the side of Velocity in this one. 2 of the players working with light shields. It's okay for Deathmaker, but perhaps Vibor, if he's unable to buy his entire kit of utility, it could be problematic. Although I do suspect he's got enough.
Oh my god, this is
Disgusting.
This is beautiful.
Double op,
The Broden coming out. Let's go, guys. Let's go. That thing shreds.
I Am I seeing a triple operator setup coming in from Bleed? They're really feeling it. Okay, 3 operators on offense, and no handle. Guess what? They're not pushing.
Yeah, that is. It ain't happening, folks. It ain't happening. But yeah, fairly spread out default coming out from the attackers this time around in the final round. They've ceded a lot of map control. Look at where Ace is playing, and it doesn't matter because Deathmaker is gonna get greedy, and Lexi is just gonna be like, okay, thank you very much. Take your head for it. And there we go. Man advantage. That huge investment coming in really handy. Marzel though, does he get checked is the question. Gets 1, gets 2. Can he get more? He's in a spot of bother. He was good for 2, but that's all that he's gonna get. And attacker Killjoy ult coming in towards the B bomb site. Ace on the back lines, gets 1. Can he do more damage? That Killjoy ult is gonna give them cause for pause. And 0 players detained, but players from Bleed are making their way towards C. The wide peak and Hellfighter left dead in the dust. And in the blink of an eye, it's back to a 2v2. Good switch up there from the boys from Bleed. Picking the C bomb side, which is relatively unprotected, but Vibhor coming in. Can he deny the plant? No, he can't, but he does get the kill, but that's immediately traded. And now it's all down to right to Ace. The plant is for long, and it is the Killjoy, the most annoying character with her, Kinder Joys of Doom, just ready to be popped at the sound of the first defuse, but I think noise would have been made now.
Okay,
Bleed
this is...
knows.
Yeah, Bleed does know, and it's a weird setup with those nanoswords. It's actually to prevent aggression, but he still walked through right to Ace. Oh, first love! Still crosshair placement on point. Vandal straight to the head. Doesn't even need those Kinder Joys. No potatoes needed. He is just gonna be sending bullets to their faces. Bullets to... well, you know what comes next.
Yeah. And very good switch up from Bleed. Like, they took that tactical timeout, and they must have heard some, like, Al Pacino level rousing speech, because this is a completely different Bleed that we're seeing. Like, holy hell, these guys are just... now they are the ones who are cracked. Like, they're finding all the early picks, they're getting all the initiative, they're dictating the pace of the round and just pushing Velocity Gaming back and back and back. And, well, now it's the turn of the tide, it's the switch up, it's the pistol round, and it's gonna all start afresh once again.
Okay, Trusania finds a kill. DM, okay, he dashes straight into the shock dart, not what he was planning for. Down to 10 HP, Marzel gets spotted out by the alarm bot, cleaned up by Frosty with the single classic left click to the dome. This round falling apart for the side of Velocity. Vibhor is going to be the one leading the charge now. But look at those nanoswarms coming in, delaying the push. Hellfight had a lot of time in the road to line that up, but is unable to do so. DM on 10 HP finds one, but gets cleaned up. And now, Bleed in the driver's seat, firmly secured. Ain't no one going to be coming in and take him out of this car just yet. This is going to be their round to lose.
Yeah, but they have to be very careful, because they know what Velocity are capable of in their eco rounds. And, well, it doesn't look like there's going to be any sort of commit coming in from Velocity. They didn't get the bomb down, so they don't have that extra 300 creds to work with. So we're going to be seeing mostly classics and one Sheriff onto Deathmaker, because, why not? It's Deathmaker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, 2 words starting with the letter D. One needs to be avoided, one needs to be followed to the D. One being death, the other being discipline. Jarpix. Some very early spam towards A main, but doesn't really connect on anyone. And Frosty, he knows about this. Gonna let go of the paranoia. Lines up one, gets in fact, and Vibhor cleans him up. But man advantage still firmly in the favor of Bleed. Trusania spotting out one, still taking this fight. Vibhor just toying with him at the moment. And he's out of bullets. He's actually gonna have to give it up a little bit, go back. But there's the backup coming in from the Stow, and now he's gonna peek forward, dismiss back to safety. Jarpix is gonna find a kill as well. And this time around, Bleed, they stand firm, they stand as one, and they dismantle Velocity. No sneaky shenanigans today. No anti-eco wins for them. And Velocity, they're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. The good old climb from the bottom.
Bleed have finally woken up. I think they've started to take this game a little more seriously, and it is showing. They have not dropped a round in, well, they've strung together 6 in a row. This is
Yeah.
going to start to weigh heavy on VLT as well. Maybe it's time they take another timeout if it's allowed. I'm not sure how many are allowed. And reassess how the game is going to progress.
Okay. Well, there's the recon dot coming through. Lexi gets tagged up and is going to be sent back towards the A side. But yeah, the Soul also elsewhere losing a lot of HP. While they may not have kills in their favor, they certainly have the picks, and they don't have a lot of healing on the side of Bleed. In fact, none apart from the Reyna. So yeah, these two players, they're down for quite a while. But Lexi is a glass cannon, so he doesn't care.
And not just a glass cannon, but a very effective glass cannon, and holding the angle that is looking like Mazel wants to peek. Needs to be careful though. Mazel deciding against it, knows that there's an op. He's still caught in two minds. Maybe use the owl drone to get some information and push Lexi off that angle. And yeah, that's exactly what's going to be happening. And yeah, there we go. Lexi does get pushed off the angle, but does he? Oh, in the meantime, Frosty gets one. They're caught with their pants down. And Frosty, he's just being an absolute menace on that Omen. So much mobility coming out and just so many kills. Not helping the case
30
for...
seconds
Oh,
left.
what? Wadu?
Enemy down.
Okay. Someone went to sleep.
Grenade.
Yeah, someone mistimed their own smoke. Forgot that it was about to time out, but first love is still there to stabilize. Gets tagged down to 50 HP. Still alive, still standing strong. Paranoid is all heck, but now spots out with Bo. Right to his spikes to Sania though. And okay, an unusual miss is coming in from him. Right to Ace. He is so high on HP. He's going to line them up and gets the clutch. What a velocity, restoring a semblance of sanity back into their game. But boy, did it come at a cost. Look at the economy.
There is no economy. What do I look at? This is... This
Yeah.
is dire. We've got the Guardian out on Helef and Vibhor still on the Spectre. DM will be able to get a buy. Mazel on the half armor. Yikes. This is looking scary. I mean, the thing is, the buys aren't good across the board. Marshall versus Guardian, I think
There.
I'd prefer the Guardian. But Chrysania, early aggression towards mid. Does he get punished for it? No, he doesn't. In the meantime. Oh, DM being cheeky around that Astra smoke and catches Jarpix just slightly unawares. In the meantime, Chrysania gets one. Oh, Chrysania gets two, and Chrysania has a dismiss right there in front of him in case he gets pushed. And it's a 3v3. Although, the Omen ult just there for some information. Gets the information. That's gonna get First Love to peek around the corner. He's heard this, and he is gonna go farming. Gets one. That's the spike. He's gonna fall
Spike
back.
down
and
A.
this is a bit sloppy from VLT. They should have expected that. Someone should have been watching a shot at this point.
Mazel though, he can still do God's work over here, but does he go in the right direction? Yes, he does. Chrysania has no idea that this is coming. It's actually going to open up the seaside, get them a planted around that they should have had no business getting anything done. And Velocity with 30 seconds left on the clock, they'll certainly get the spike down. But
Yeah, and
it would be
the rotation.
Turret down.
not looking the best with two people from defender spawn. They need to spread out a little bit. They need to either play trades or... Yeah, I'm not even sure at this point. They both made noise. They're both aware of where the side of Bleed are and Velocity. They just need to clean up. Frosty's so low. I mean, just spam the box over here, but no, he's waiting for the peak
Player
instead. Down to 87 points of life. No armor just yet. 3 bullets remaining, and that's all he needs. What the hell, Mazel?
He's like, I ain't falling for your dirty tricks. You can keep turret to yourself. I'ma just shoot you in the face. And one double dink later, we staring at a 9-7 scoreline. Ooh, this is getting close. This is coming down to the wire. And Bleed are being made to feel the heat.
Oh yeah. Once again, the economy not great for VLT. They are somehow standing on a rather shaky house of cards, but soon enough, they should be able to get some firm ground if they don't lose a lot here in this presumable eco that's going to come out from Bleed. I don't think this is a scenario where they buy any weapons at all unless they're completely out of their minds. And Velocity, this should be a bit of a breather for them. You know, they've been swimming against the tide for a while now. And with this round coming in, they should be able to just chill out and take this a little bit slower and a little bit easier. Just relax, loosen the muscles a little. Nice timeout as well coming in from the side of Velocity. As you can see, Amaterasu giving a few words of encouragement to his teammates there.
Yeah, and I think the call will be to like, guys, the economy is short on Bleed. Let's just be careful. Let's not give up any free kills, and let's wait for some pushes, because last time Bleed were in such a situation, they tried that YOLO man rush in Breeze on towards the A bomb side, which Mazel kind of foiled. But Haven, like, it's so open. There's so much that can happen, but it looks like it's going to be a YOLO push towards the A bomb side. And there we go, Deathmaker getting the opening frag. There's so many players just on the edge of that smoke.
Okay.
These guys need to be careful. And oh, Frosty comes running out, and Frosty is dealt with promptly by Right to Ace with that Spectre of his.
Player standing.
Oh, all right. Very clean round so far. Can we shut it down at just one casualty? Yes, we can. That is what Amaterasu wanted. Clean round, double digits on the board for Velocity, and Bleed now. Bring out the big guns. This is the do or die situation moment for them. If they lose this round, their money is gone, and they're going to be playing for overtime.
Yep. Deathmaker's got the knives up as well, so, you know, he's not going to be strapped for cash at any point. He can basically drop his teammates a weapon over if they lose this round. So Velocity in a good position now, but they need to push this further. They need to cross the finishing line here, and that's going to be the biggest hurdle for them. It's just getting past this Bleed defense that has been a thorn that continues to prick, but they're learning their ways around it. And slowly but surely, they should be able to break through this defense. A lot slower approach coming out from Velocity as they just huddled up outside Garage. This could get punished pretty heavily if Bleed were a bit more active, but it seems that Velocity have sort of out-mind-gamed them and made them play a bit too safe. First luck, supposed to pop the Nanoswarm early as it doesn't find anyone. And now, after having forced out all those rotations, look at that A side, it's completely empty. And there's a board waiting right there with the spike, and Velocity considering an A hit at this point.
Yeah, but look at Lexi with the operator posted up. Like, he's going to get information so early if it does come down to an A hit. And that's what's allowed Bleed to actually move off the angles. And oh, there we go, Lexi. He knows the operator, he knows the jet, he knows no one's going to catch him. And now it's going to be a commit because there's just 38 seconds left on the clock. It has to be a commit towards the A-bomb side. Ooh, Lexi missing a crucial shot. Does he get a second chance? It looks like he will. And Mazel is going to face the brunt of that operator. Lexi still alive, still kicking, still completely decimating this hit. Chrysania with a kill onto Vibhor. And now in the blink of an eye, it's all down to Hellfighter. He gets one, trying to get the second, does manage to land the kill. And he's on a 3K, but he's got 2 kills to find on 4 HP. This is a tall order, and the plant has to go down. There is no time. There is very little hope. And now it's just going to be a dance around the bomb site with Lexi securing his third and the round for Bleed Esports.
Yep. Well, Bleed, when push comes to shove, they push back hard and they take the fight to Velocity. Great hold coming out from them. That operator really saving them the round there. A lot of credit where credit's due. Lexi just pulling that round through, and even Chrysania just surviving under hell and getting that second kill too on top of that, just popping off here and making sure Bleed is still in the game. Velocity, the economy, it's gonna be okay thanks to Deathmaker's knives, but after this one they're gonna be strapped for cash, so they kind of need to make this work. Chrysania this time around is gonna make somewhat of a similar play, go early towards A long and sit behind the box, wait for someone to cross his path, and no one's going to be coming there just yet. Velocity, they're making some noise towards A main, trying to get someone to peek, and Deathmaker just standing there. Great stuff coming out from Velocity, good team play, but Chrysania not biting. The discipline is there coming in from the side of Bleed. Does he swing for this now? No, he knows there are multiple players here. The flash is going to come through, but that doesn't really clear out Chrysania just yet. They could still anticipate that there was a player peeking from Hell or the A site, so yeah, Deathmaker still needs to step carefully.
This looks like it's going to be a double peak, and it's going to be a very sticky situation. Chrysania just waiting for to swing. Jarpix baiting to the high heavens, making sure that Chrysania is good for at least 1 kill, because that's all he'll need. He can get 1 kill and then just dismiss out of there. No, he won't. He's going to get greedy, and he's going to get made to pay for that greed. 1-for-1 trade, it's going to help the attackers because they can just bunch up and hit a bomb site while the defenders will have to spread apart, but doesn't matter. Lexi's Blades doing a ton of damage. Back-to-back 3K, and that attack just crumbles even before it has a chance to begin. It's like watching a sandcastle in high tide just being washed away, and just all you can do is stare and cry because, well, that was just so well played by Bleed. They held their ground and they just decimated that hit.
Yeah, great stuff coming out from Bleed. Just reading into Velocity like a book. And Cresania as well. Even though he died there, just getting that first initial pick and getting all the information. Great stuff. Jarpix, he's gonna get spotted out here towards the start. Lexi missing a crucial shot there. Goes for the repeat, does not find right to ace. And with that information, they can actually try and make something happen here. There's an alarm bot towards Garage, so that is not free real estate. They're gonna take it off, but Frosty's still there to hold through. Does he choose to contest this? No, he's gonna let them pass and let them come on site instead. But no, actually the paranoia goes through. The spam is coming in, but no one is really connected. The Hunter's Furies can be popped as well as a Phantom. No, wait, Martin actually bought him a Phantom and he's making it work. The Hero Phantom finds to somehow. But Jarpix gets DM, the Danger Man, off the server. And they still have control of C. They haven't entered the site just yet. Velocity gonna try to regroup here and maybe take their business towards B, but Jarpix is waiting for them with the recon dart.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the thing, right? Sky has healed up all the players, and there's the ult coming out. That's going to break the bomb site in half. And it's going to take Jarpix out of the equation for the time being. He won't even hear the bomb plant go down. But,
Spike planted.
well, that's going to give them some much-needed information. Vibhor on the flank, he knows that there's an offer coming. And he knows that he's going to send that offer back to the starting line. And now it's a 1v4. Sorry, 2v4. And there we go, the Kinder Joys of Doom. Spam's coming in, they're trying to do something, but the flank is coming in from the B connector region. Ace trying to make something happen. Oh, Hellfighter gets spotted out, but he's gonna get immediately traded by Mazel, who's been the glass cannon, the hero weapon per se, getting those two opening picks and then getting the third just to ensure that the bomb plant doesn't get diffused. And that is gonna be another somewhat thrifty round coming in from Velocity, just bunching up together, hitting the bomb site and not even allowing trades to come in.
Yeah, it just seems that all at once, the goddess of aim, the goddess of luck, the goddess of money have all taken Velocity under their wing, and Blade, they're just like Sisyphus, man. They're climbing uphill, they're rolling that boulder constantly on top, only for it to come tumbling back down. And Blade are gonna take a much needed timeout here. I mean, they've got to buy. I think so they do. Maybe Lexi can drop one and pick up a cheaper weapon or potentially light armor to compensate for that. So they have a fighting chance here, but once again, Velocity's economy looks strong, and that's what they care about the most.
True, but I mean, speaking of Sisyphus, like I hope that Velocity don't go the way of Icarus. I mean, they're flying high right now. They need to make sure that they don't go flying too close to the sun, because those wings are going to come crashing down. Bleed, this is their map pick. You cannot count them out. They are here to play and win as well. And we've seen that they have fight in them and lots of it. It's just about finding those right setups that kind of break whatever VLT is bringing to the table. And I'm just astounded by the back and forth that's been happening on Haven. This was Bleed's map pick. We were expecting that it's going to be a lot easier for them to hold off Velocity than it was during the Breeze pick. But my God, Velocity, they are not backing down.
Absolutely. It's in the name, you know, Velocity themselves just shooting in a straight line and always just winning those crucial rounds somehow. Bleed stumbling. But they're trying to stay alive over here, even after being thrown off balance. Frosty, gonna be an early peek for information coming out from him. He's got the paranoia, but he can't hold this all by himself. That is a very nice paranoia. It's actually going to prevent all the aggression from coming in. And Frosty's gonna find two, holds that sight down, teleports away into the darkness. First Love is there to back him up as well, and Velocity, they have been robbed thanks to that paranoia from Frosty as he delivers. And Velocity, they just need to back off here, give up the site, regroup, reassess the situation, and maybe, just maybe, Hellfighter can connect a few shots to the head and pull this round back in their favor. Still gonna be a very hard-fought one though.
Here's the issue, right? The two big fraggers are down for Velocity for this round. Mazel and Deathmaker, they've been popping off, and both of them are the ones that fall prey to that insane play by Frosty. And now 11-9, it's looking poised to go 10-11. And with that, considering the money situation, it looks like we will have 11-11 on the cards, unless, well, Velocity can pull out another thrifty from the bag. But
30 seconds left.
very heavy presence towards C. That recon dart is gonna... Oh, doesn't even need it. The jig is up, guys. They know it's a C hit. The rotations are gonna come in. Hellfighter gets one, but the immediate trade comes out. Fake TP also coming out.
One enemy remaining.
This is not going well. Absolute destruction.
And they keep 4 alive, the most important part for their economy, by the way. So they carry their weapons over, they build up some bank and Velocity. Back to square one again, down to brass tacks. This is them going in for an eco, presumably giving this round up again, but yeah, we've seen those ecos time and time again, and it seems that Velocity, they have a knack for just somehow winning those. But this time around, Bleed, I'm sure they're going to be able to hold on. This is not around that Bleed give up, not even in their faintest dreams.
But we've got the hero Phantom on towards Ace this time around, and he's gonna die. He's gonna die. F.
Yeah. No heroes in this story for the side of Velocity today. Only grief, only pain. Well, Bleed, they're not gonna give this round up easy. The dream situation is all 5 stay alive and carry their weapons over. And guess what? They already know this is a B hit coming through. That owl towards sewers is just gonna confirm it. There you go, Chrysania peeks out, gets information, Nanoswarm gets spotted, and they're walking into a meat grinder with Bo's gonna be able to clean up one, Ro's gonna be able to clean up two somehow, make it a 3v3, give them a fighting chance with the stolen weapons over here. And Fed, it's like you say, they've gone shopping.
They've gone shopping, and well, Lead, he's gonna be, oh my god, gets domed, gets absolutely domed there. Ouch, and this looks like another thrifty coming out from our boys from VLT. 2v3, yeah.
Planted.
The two guys from Bleed will have to pull off something marvelous if they want to win this round, because the guns have been secured. They don't have armor to work with. DM has that half armor. The HP is just not there, but are they going to be clearing? Oh, no, 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 DM, not the time to fluff your aim. It's coming down to the wire. Shock darts coming in. Hellfighter gets tagged. Oh, no. Oh, okay.
Enemy remaining.
That's Alex over. That was Vabor's ultimate that tagged up Hellfighter there. Okay. And Vabor's done it. No,
he's done it.
No.
They won.
No, this is wrong. This is wrong for moral, ethical, psychological, all sorts of reasons. This is
match point.
Oh God!
My sanity, it's gone. It's not to be found. Error 404. Sanity is missing. Please refresh brain.
Everything that could go wrong went wrong for Bleed there. Oh my days! They got the early pick. They would have been flying high, and then all of a sudden. Oh my god, Vibhor just say no. Vibhor walks in, casually strolls in, gets a 3k, domes Frosty for like all his efforts that he's been putting in so far on that Omen, and it's just deadu.
My god. Insane. This is just painful to look at, and they've got together by, so it's not the end of the world for Bleed. You know, they've still got a couple of weapons up in their arsenal, but man, do those round losses hurt. And guess what? They've made their way in here. DM somehow actually survives that. Chrysania also drops low. Oh no, Chrysania's been cleaned up. Fed. This is starting to look rough again.
Yep. Both Killjoys all get popped. Now it's just a waiting game. No one detained for the defenders. Oh, the op. Lexi, you really needed to hit that. That's the one time you had to hit your shot, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Sova gets spotted out. Sova's dart not gonna do much. But the timing not working out. 4v4. We're gonna back out of this. This is not something you want to force the issue for. But First Love, he's out on a fact-finding mission. He's pushed up. He's hearing the rotation come in. He's gonna call for the rotation from the defenders over towards the C bomb site, and he's gonna be in for the quick flank. I'm not sure whether Velocity are ready for this flank. Oh god, this is just so much. My heart cannot handle. I'm old, Floki. I am old. I
Spike
cannot take
planted.
this.
You better have good life insurance, because I think you might be needing that in this one. First love, good for one. Gets Hellfighters, the weakest player on the enemy team, taken down. Martin gets Frosty, though in the meantime, Dion joins in and he gets jumped. It's all the way to this. No, Velocity, you can't do this. No, Met, call an ambulance. Wait, but is it for us? Or is it a Velocity? Because First Love is still found one. He's actually going to go in for the defuse, but Martin creeping up will shut him down. A
Attackers win.
painful way to go out. A 2-0 coming in from Velocity. This is nuts. No.
Kaura. Kaura. Oh, all my brain could think in that final round. Why? Very, very chaotic. And oof, what a game. What a game from the Velocity Gaming boys. I'm pulling my hair apart. That was just beautiful. Beautiful chaos in a nutshell. Just go towards A, get completely pushed back, pivot all the way to the C bomb side, deal with a quick flank, deal with it. They do get the kills on the rotating players and then see off the round. Just ice cold from Velocity Gaming.
I
Oh
mean,
my god.
bathe in their glory all you want, Fed, but man, today is a painful day to just be a Blade fan. God. Getting robbed of so many rounds time and time again. It's all thanks to Velocity's pristine execution, like you said, Fed. This is a team that does not cut corners. When it comes down to it, even when they have a 10% chance of winning a round, they take it. They take it every single time and they come out on top. You don't respect Velocity, well, they're going to make you respect them. And
Yeah.
this is a clear lesson in why I think some of these upper bracket teams need to start being aware and start watching out, because Velocity, it's coming from them. It's the guy who you bullied in high school, who you thought was a nerd, had those big round 8-number glasses, and you meet him 5 years later, he's buffed up, he's gone to the gym, he's learned martial arts, and he remembers all those
You
veggies
remember.
that you gave him.
Yes. And not just like the other teams from Singapore, but even global. They should take a look at how these guys played Haven. And I mean, it's one of the longest standing rivalries in Indian Valorant, and Velocity, the kind of performance that they put in today and yesterday, the kind of grit, determination, team play that they've showcased. Ooh, everyone needs to look out for these guys. These guys mean business, folks, and they're coming for you. Whoever it is out there, whoever the you is, these guys are coming, and you'd best be ready when they do. Whew, what a game.
Yeah, and what a way for you to come back. Imagine waking up today and thinking to yourself that this is the game of Valorant you're going to be casting.
Oh,
A
man.
game where there are so many rounds that there's just no business winning, and they win it time after time. Is this 2019 again? Is this 2018? Am I watching a team in its prime that is about to make splashes in the Southeast Asian circuit? Yeah, you know what? Let's not go in that direction. I think a lot of memories are going to be chalked up by that. But oh boy, yeah. So let's take this easy for the time being and jump into the match highlights. See how Velocity did it, because man, was this a masterclass in how to play this map. They've switched things up, but it's the same old Velocity. You give each of these players a weapon, a gun, a rifle in their hands, and they can make it sing all the same. Doesn't matter if it's a Matarasu or Vipur.
My god, but this map, Haven, was Marzel's playground. That man single-handedly held off retakes, held off side takes, just so well played from Marzel. Like, this reminds me of like the old Marzel, where like just confidence oozing from every pore in his body, taking those fights, winning those fights, and being the difference maker for his team. And that's what's scary about this side, right? Like, suppose Deathmaker is having an off day, because everyone can have an off day.
Yeah.
You've got Marzel to contend with, you've got Ace to contend with, you've got Helef to contend with, and let's not forget Vibhor. This man is clutch all day, every day. When everything else goes, up the wazoo, this guy is there holding things down for Velocity and just being that solid anchor, that one like dependable player that you need to make sure that your team sees the round through. And this lineup, it's really freaking scary. If you're coming up against these guys. Bleed, they tried their best, very well played by them, but on this day, there was no beating Velocity. This was just so well executed from the
Yeah.
boys. The boys.
I mean, I really want to give Lead a lot of credit for actually being able to come back, because look at the start, 6-1. This is reminiscent of Breeze. Why there's 6, maybe 7 rounds in a row? What the hell was that? And then it was Velocity starting to shine all over again. I mean, it's like the protagonist's journey. They start off strong. You've got all the reason to root for them, and they start faltering midway. They need to learn a few lessons. They need to humble themselves. They managed to do that. They humble themselves, and then they come back strong again to
Yeah.
take down the villain. It's like Dragon Ball Z.
It's except less yelling.
Yes, absolutely. More actual fighting.
Fighting.
Yeah, they spend the episodes actually, getting some bullets into the domes of the enemy team. Not actually
Not just
sitting there
powering up.
powering up. Yeah, I mean, I'm shaking. My hands are actually shaking right now after this match, because this is not what we've been used to. This is not what we've been following.
I was just watching that game and I need to pee. I can't imagine what it would be like to be in that server playing this match. This
Oh,
was
boy.
pulse pounding action, dude. I am so happy I got to cast this game and watch this game with you as well. This has been an amazing time. What a great game of Valorant.
Likewise,
Stunning.
man. This is potentially the best match of Valorant I've ever casted so far, bar none. I mean, this is the highest caliber of Valorant I've ever seen. And especially from what's coming out from Velocity, the future looks promising. It looks like it's only going to get better from here on out. This is with Amaterasu out and Vibhor stepping in. I imagine that this is not Velocity at the full power. And if that's the case, then my eyes peeled out for them.
Yes. It's over 9,000, Floki.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
over 9,000.
Yeah, he's yet to attain Super Saiyan 3. Velocity, they're still just beating Cell up. Or should I say it's Gohan, because he's the actually one who beats Cell. But, enough with the DBZ references.
Yes. This
Velocity
but what a game, man. I am just speechless right now. And that's not usually something that happens to me. But, whew, what a game.
Yeah.
Loved it. The highlights speak for themselves. Bleed doing everything possible. But today, there was just no stopping Velocity.
Yeah,
Oh,
5 years
so
ago, you tell someone that this is the level that they're going to get to at FPS games, I'm quite sure everyone would have laughed at you and be like, with Indian that's not happening. But today, Velocity is just proving everyone wrong, This is Velocity at their prime, and boy, do they look good. They look ravishing. Every single round, you're coming in from them. Velocity, it was never their thought to just give it up and be like, okay, guys, this is not our round to win. No, it was always them just somehow finding a win condition and somehow just making those plays necessary. Not letting a single round go to waste. This is just Velocity just playing some very, very crisp Valorant.
Not just that, like just drawing more parallels to win conditions. Like remember when TI9, the Seb call, right?
Oh yeah,
this map was just full of moments like that, right? And it's just, it gives me so much happiness to be able to be a part of this. Like it's been so long since I've watched a game that made me physically happy, and it's so good. It's so good. This match was just perfection.
Yeah.
Like not in terms of technicality or the executes or the aim, but just the raw emotion that this triggered in me, and I'm pretty sure the viewers also felt it. It was just so good. Like it was such a great game.
Yeah, all that dopamine and serotonin release in your brain at this point, just insane. But wow, I mean, let's have a look at the scoreboard soon enough and see what the scoreboard actually looks like. Because I believe you're supposed to do that. That is also a part of this show. Let's not forget it. But yeah, we're gonna have a look at the map recap first. So let's jump into that. See how Velocity took these two maps: 13-3, followed by 13-10 on Haven. Bleed. Just yeah, Bleed really tried. Full credit to them. It didn't seem to me that Bleed had given up. They were trying their level best every single time. Nothing to take away from them. But man, did Velocity just completely outshine everyone today. They looked like they were in a different form.
Velocity, like, they look like a class apart. Like Bleed tried their level best. Those crazy omen plays by Frosties. Lexi with the op. Yes, he did miss a couple of shots, but like so many rounds came down to the wire, and like Bleed poured their heart and soul into defending that Haven map pick. But Velocity were just having none of it. They were like, no, they went like mine, and just took everything from Bleed, and a convincing 2-0 at that, coming out from Velocity Gaming. And they move on into the lower bracket. We will have to bid fare thee well to Bleed Esports. They had a great run, but unfortunately, today they came up against a Velocity Gaming that was just not taking any nonsense from anyone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they woke up today and they chose violence, and you can see the result of it over here as they make it forward into the lower bracket match against the winner of Louvre versus Global Esports. Global Esports not gonna. I mean, that's probably a match that Velocity really want to play, right? Because that's a team that knocked them down here. So already we can see, some rivalry starting to shape. Unless Global Esports beats out the side of Louvre, then Velocity not really gonna have the chance at vengeance. It's gonna be a dog eat dog world, but yeah, Lua, this is shaping up to be a very interesting bracket thanks to their loss at the hands of Paper X. And boy, do we have that match lined up for you too today. Later on in the day, I believe it's going to be the side of Lua going up against Global Esports at 5 o'clock. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification icon so you actually know when we're live with this one because, boy, if this is the level of Valorant we're going to be seeing today, you really don't want to be missing out on those. This is the most bang for your buck you can get.
True. And guess what, guys? Join the channel, because you
Yeah.
get some very cool emotes that you can spam in chat, to show your support for whichever team you are rooting for. So yeah, and you get to chat uninterrupted and call us cringe.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there, like throughout the game,
Go
no
for
matter what happens, you get to have a dig
Yeah.
at the casters. We're watching,
Ab-
we read. Don't
Hey,
don't you worry.
absolutely, just go for digs at us. You know who we urge you to do that. We ourselves will be in chat and take a dig at our own casters. So what's stopping you from doing that? Absolutely, go for it.
Yes, go for it. Let's go, guys. Ho jaye
Yeah,
chat mein. Let's go, Mahasangram.
absolutely, man.
Anyway,
Yeah,
what a guys! I'm still reeling, man. I'm still coming,
yeah,
coming down from that game. Oh, but
I
here, I honestly thought, Floki, that double duelist setup coming in from Bleed
mhm.
would cause some trouble for Velocity because, like I said, right, Reina and Jet, both of these, so difficult to trade them if they're the ones getting the kills.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, were these guys on point today?
Absolutely. I mean, the whole philosophy is also very cool to see, right? Because both of these teams have different approaches. One with the duelists, obviously being like, you know what, we place a lot of trust in these two players. We imagine that if we give them these agents, they're going to be able to carry us. They did to a very good extent. They did, but unfortunately, just the team play not clicking. And let's have a look at the scoreboards because that's going to provide some more context to this, right? So you can see Lexi and Trisania, they popped off 19 and 18 kills each. First Love being the MVP for the side of Bleed Esports with 25 to his name. But man, even then, it seems that Bleed, they were just fighting an uphill battle. It was not going their way.
And let's taking a stock of both the games, right? I just want to focus on Vibhor, because I feel he gets some flack from the community for not being as showy a player on Velocity as the other guys, but the consistency this man puts out game in game out, he's always there amongst the top two. And when his role isn't even to frag, right, he's the initiator, he's the sentinel, he's the info gatherer, he's the controller. Like, he's always playing the support roles, and he supports like nobody else in the Indian scene. Like, he is just so dependable, and he lifts the team up on his shoulders and allows the death makers, the Marzels, the Aces, and the Helefs to shine and come into their own. And I feel that goes overlooked a lot of the times. And I just wanted
Yeah.
to put it out there. Vibhor, guys, is a beast.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. This has often been, one of the things that we often draw flag for is that we just don't give credit to our support players, right? Whenever we see someone who is always stable, always consistent, always fragging, but just never really being super flashy, everyone's quick to point fingers at them. But having that consistency in someone, just knowing that you still have a guy who, if given the opportunity, will be able to get you the round, will be able to get you those situations where you can get away with a lot is absolutely imperative. It's crucial to Velocity success because without Vibhor, you wouldn't have those eco rounds. You wouldn't have those rounds where you lining people up with your Hunter's Fury. You're playing that post plant to perfection, by the way, not even taking the fight. They're just making sure he never has time for a comfortable defuse. That's
Yeah.
what you need in players, and that's what India seems to be lacking. And Vibhor is giving Velocity exactly that, the rock behind which that entire team rests on. And
Yeah.
it's only going to
I
get better from here.
I'm very impressed with this Velocity lineup. Like I saw Global play yesterday; they're a fantastic side. But if I am to choose between Global and Velocity, because I think that's how the cookie
Mhm,
crumbles right now in the Indian Valorant scene.
mhm.
Basis just these two performances on these 2 days, Velocity are looking like the slightly stronger team, but that's going to keep Global on their toes as well, right? You don't want like complacency to
Mhm.
set in.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's glad to see that these guys are constantly improving at each other's throats, just pushing each other to be better, and that's only going to help the scene and enable teams like Enigma, True Rippers, all these other guys who are trying to break into the Valorant scene to have like a goal set for them and then
yeah.
work towards it. But I guess that's all from us right now for the first game. Floki, any closing words?
Not really. I mean, I am just very happy. I'm honestly, if you were asking me, if everyone says that you should be unbiased as a caster, but I actually feel really bad for Bleed today because it just seemed like he just started to crumble at the worst possible time mentally. Because we've been on the other side of the fence so many times, right? As Indian esports fans, we've seen this happen to our teams. We've seen this happen to, the entities, the global esports, the signifies, all of these rosters. At times, they've had those moments. But today, to see the opposite, it's really something. And boy, oh boy, are we going to be keeping our eyes peeled out for more. Well, that's it from me. That's it from our side. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. You're watching AMD Presents the Esports Club Showdown Valorant powered by Red Bull. We're going to be coming back with the 5 p.m. game. Don't go anywhere.
every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.